Well, hello, quilting friends, and happy Feature Friday, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me in my sewing studio today. We are going to be answering one of our quilting friends' questions. They asked if we could go over releasing the belts from our robotic system so that they can do free motion quilting easily. So we are going to go over that together. So I'm going to turn you guys around. We're going to be looking at our machine and our robotic system and get started on releasing those belts. All right, friends, so you can see I've got my machine here. My robotic system is in place. There's my motor box. And if I look from the top here, you can see I have my black Y belt here in place and my white X belt here. And we need to release those so that they can easily do free motion quilting. Now, you can free motion quilt with your belts in place. You can see I'm moving my machine around just fine, but it is a little bit stiffer than I would like if I'm doing free motion quilting. I can't get very smooth curves as I would normally want. Not that I'm a great free motion quilter, because y'all know I'm not good at it. But if I wanted to do free motion work, I would probably want to take my belts off so I can get really precise and smooth movement. So to release your belts, it's very simple. And once you do it a few times, you're going to get really good at it. I'm going to release my Y belt first, and that's this black one on top that attaches to the top pulley of your motor box. Here's my motor box. There's my top pulley. And then it's going to come along the side of your machine, and you'll have some kind of bracket attachment on the side of your machine. And then it runs, as you can see, all the way to the back of your machine, and there's going to be another pulley back there. To release the belt, you're going to need to be at your side bracket, and there's going to be a wing nut that you're going to need to release. That's going to release this little metal piece that the two sides of your belt attached into. Now your bracket, see my bracket back here, this big metal piece? Your bracket might look a little bit different than mine. It might be shaped different, or it might even be silver instead of black like mine is. But that's your bracket that's holding this piece into place. I've got a little screw end sticking out here, and my wing nut goes through that. We're going to release that wing nut. So this metal piece that has my belt attached to it can come off. I'm simply going to twist my wing nut to loosen it. And I like to loosen it most of the way, but I don't take my wing nut out because I'm honestly scared I'm going to lose my wing nut. Like I'll either drop it and not be able to find it, or I'm going to take it out and put it down and forget where I put it. So I loosen it most of the way. And when I am there, I simply grab onto my metal plate and pull it out and then down to get it off that wing nut. And then my belt is actually fully released at this point. I'm going to turn my wing nut back into place so that I don't lose it, because I don't want to do that. And once my wing nut's into place, then my Y belt is done. See how loose it is now? It's kind of wiggly wobbly. It's still on the idler at the front and the back, but now that it's not attached to this bracket, I can actually push my machine forwards and backwards, and it slides very quickly with just one finger. So my Y belt is released. So we're ready on my Y belt end. Now the next one we need to release is our X belt, or our white belt here. Now on my machine right now, you can see that I have one of our new robots. It's our new robot because it doesn't have a clutch on the top. We have moved the clutch from the top of our motor box to over here on our side bracket. And it's really easy, and I'm so glad we made this improvement because I don't have to reach underneath my quilt top and try to release the clutch on the top of my motor box anymore. All I have to do is take the tab at the top of my clutch and move it towards the inside of my frame. And you can see that I just got a whole lot of slack in my X belt, and that goes all the way down the frame. And that has released my X belt. And now you can see I can just kind of push and my machine goes flying down the frame. So it's loosened my belt enough where I now can do full free motion. And I'll come up here and you guys can see I am just pushing this with one finger. I've got full capability of free motion. And that was so easy, just kind of turning that inside and outside. I can put it back into place by just pushing it back. So this is super easy with this clutch now. I love our new motor box. If you don't have the new motor box, come on over here. Here's one of our old style motor boxes. We've got the clutch on top. So a lot of you have this, so I'll go over this one. So remember the clutch is kind of two pieces. We've got a wider back piece and a skinnier front piece. You kind of have to squeeze the two pieces together and pull them towards the outside of the box a little and then push them in. And that's how this releases. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it again so you can see it from the back side now. So it's not hard to do, it's just a little bit more convenient having it on the side of the frame. I'm gonna turn this around so you can see how this works. So I have a piece of belt in here so you can see the release. And what's happening is this piece of metal down here that's holding these two smaller pulley pieces releases down when we release our clutch on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and release my clutch. I'm sorry, I'm not left-handed, y'all. I'm gonna have to switch the phone. I'm gonna go ahead and release the clutch and you can see the metal piece is going to drop and that releases my belt. Now my belt's kind of free, I can pull it out. So that's what is releasing my belt when I've got the old style robot with the clutch on top. So whether you've got the old style robot or the new style robot, releasing the Y belt that's on the top pulley is going to be exactly the same. And then releasing either the clutch on the top of the old style or the clutch on the side of your frame on the new style. It's super simple. Once you've done it a couple times, it's going to be like clockwork for you. You'll do it in just a few seconds flat. You'll be able to switch back and forth between your free motion quilting and your automated quilting. It'll be a breeze for you, and I love when people do combination quilting and use both on their quilts. It's wonderful. So now that we all know how to do the belt releases, you can do it anytime you want. Just remember to make sure you put your belts back into place before you try to do your automated quilting again. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen because you won't have your belts engaged. I've forgotten myself a couple times. Just remember to put those belts back before you go back to automated quilting. Make sure you're around all of your pulleys, that your brackets are in place where they need to be, and everything is set back into place before you go back. But it's great to have those simple releases. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.